Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Roman and I am introducing a new segment called Run It Back. And Run It Back will be a series where I talk about topics related to YouTube's beef sector. And if you're not familiar with YouTube's beef sector, it is a host of content creators who have, for many reasons, they have a lot of conflict with each other. And we as subscribers get a chance to see them sort of battle it out on YouTube in very funny, creative, sometimes negative ways. Overall, we can say it's entertaining. And so I found, there's been many times where I found like certain themes and certain topics that is sort of related to the beef sector and what's going on that I want to talk about. Now, I don't want to like do news reporting on the beef sector because I don't follow everyone specifically, but I do want to be able to pop out when I see like, oh, okay, here is something where I see that this is where it's going and this is what's happening. I'm not someone who, follows just one content creator on one side of the beef sector. I follow many of them. I like many of them on both sides. If you get along, if you don't get along. And so I just want to present a series in a place where I can come and many people can just come and we have a conversation about what just happened, not necessarily covering the, this person did that, that person did this person did that. From a logical standpoint, what was the gameplay here? Who did what and how did it play out? I like talking about things in that manner. So look forward to more of Run It Back. And it'll be, Run It Back, X, Y, and Z, Run It Back, X, Y, and Z. So stay tuned. Again, thank you and welcome to the first installment of Run It Back. So in this first installment, edition, series, whatever you want to call it, in this first initial conversation for Run It Back, I wanted to talk about what makes a good subscriber in the beef sector. You see, it's hard to be a subscriber to one content creator in the beef sector and then they may be friends with one content creator, then they get into it. Now you have to decide where you're going to fall, or you have to choose a side when, arguments come to play. So I just felt like this is a good conversation to have with the subscribers. Now, I know that many content creators of the beef sector will probably be a little upset with me. They probably might disagree with me, because it may go against how they run their channels. It may go against the way they want subscribers to perceive them. But I'm solely speaking from what I feel works for me. And again, I try to move fluidly and move where I feel the energy that I want to receive at that moment. I'm not thinking about, this person doesn't like that person, so I can't go there or jump in their chat. So here are some of the things that I came up with and I wanted to share with you all. So the first one is consistency. Now, I'm not talking about consistency where you need to, be in someone's chat every day or every time they go live, you need to be present, you need to jump in their chat. I'm talking about being consistent in the things you do when you're in the chat. If you're in one person's chat and you carry yourself a certain way and you're in another person's chat and you carry yourself totally different, well, there can be room for you coming off as manipulative or as someone that's sort of phony, fake. You lose a lot of integrity when you don't sort of be the same person all the time, every single place. And that should just be your natural you. You shouldn't feel like you have to be compelled to be someone else or carry yourself some way for someone else. You know, if you agree with, you know, the content creator in this place, and then over here you disagree with that content creator, it's almost like, okay, so where do you fall? Where do you lie? So you need to figure out, you know, sort of, you know, what position you want to play, and then play that position all the way across the board. You can't, you know, willy-nilly it. You know, I see that all the time. Some people will be, you know, comfortable in this chat and they'll be saying certain things, and then they'll go to another chat and they'll be very, very different. You know, try as much as possible, try to stick to who you are. And if you, you know, if you feel like you're not comfortable enough to jump in the chat and say that, then just don't jump down in the chat. You know, I think that cuts out you losing any credibility or losing your integrity. Number 2, be humble. And I know it's hard because you're in the beef sector, and the beef sector is built on 2 things: ego and bravado. Like, you have to have the bravado. You have to, you ain't gonna be, I pull up. What's good? Pull up. You know, that's, you got to do that. You got to have a little bit of an ego. You know, I'm the baddest. You know, you ain't gonna touch me. I got 18,000 degrees. You know, my floors heat up when I walk on them. You know, I got all, you know, I'm driving a Maybach, you know, all of that stuff, you know, that stuff, that all that comes along in the beef sector. But as a subscriber, we have to remember not to fall into that, and to remain humble, remain humility. So, and when I say that, if you're in the chat and you unintentionally offended someone, and they called you out about it, there's no need to go back and forth with that person. Everyone saw you did that. Just as a simple, my bad. I do it all the time. Someone will say that to me and I'll say, oh, my bad. No need for you to get offended. I just did it to Jay Dunn. No need for you to get offended. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to disrespect you at all. I'm simply just stating how I felt. If it hurt your feelings, my bad, and move on. You don't know these people, you know? And it doesn't hurt you to do that. And you gain points by that. You know, people will realize that, okay, you're not out here just saying stuff, trying to hurt people's feelings. And when you do hurt people's feelings, you recognize that because you're a subscriber. Again, you're not a content creator. And that's what I think. A lot of subscribers think they're content creators when they're in the chat. You're not. You're a subscriber. So those same rules of ego and bravado don't apply to you in the chat. If you lied, fix it. Like, if you are, again, as a subscriber, because there should be no reason you're lying in the chat. But if you lie in the chat about something, somebody says something that they didn't say, or it's easy for you to say, oh, my bad, I heard that wrong, or I'm sorry, that's my bad, I made a mistake. Why carry it on or act like you didn't, or get an attitude? Like, you're making yourself look problematic as a subscriber no one wants to deal with, you know. We see a lot of those. And then, oh, and here's another one. If you don't like someone, don't speak to them, or be cordial. See, if this was in real life, I would say be cordial. If you don't like someone, just be cordial, you know, hi and bye, or, you know, don't say nothing nasty at all. But because we're talking about a YouTube chat, if you don't like someone, you don't have to speak to them, period, at all. You know, they can speak to you, and if you really don't like them, you don't have to speak back. Who's gonna beat you up? No one. There's been there's been occasions where, you know, people may have spoken to me and I may have spoken to them, you know, someone, and they may not have spoken back to me, but it didn't cause me to, oh my God. Because again, I know I'm a subscriber. I'm not a content creator in the beef sector. What am I getting mad for you not speaking to me for? What the fuck that's gonna do for me? And back to the content creator I go. You know, so I feel like, you know, if you just gotta be humble about, you know, your presence when you're in the chat. Like, okay, maintain your space. How am I, you know, you're going with the chat, I joke around in the chat, but I also make sure that if I do find myself offending someone, and they call it out or they let me know, and, it's mutual respect, I'm going to say, okay, my bad, and you hear my voice, match my voice to what I'm saying in the chat. My bad. You got it. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not that kind of individual. The third one is learn when it's time to leave the room. Like, you don't have to stay in the room. I always hear, sometimes I'll hear when I'm in the chat, people will be, yeah, I was in her bushes and I can't believe she said this. It's like, okay, you're a subscriber. Yep, that's probably what most people do on their channels. They say stuff that you may not agree with. And so you're now in someone else's chat and you're telling them that you were in someone else's chat and you didn't like what that was said. The point of that is, it's like, you're not the content creator trying to keep up the beef and keep it going. You're the subscriber. And this is how you get yourself caught up in mess. Now, by all means, if you want to be messy and you're trying to be in the mess and stir up the beans and stir up the pot, then disregard what I'm saying. But if you're trying to be someone who's trying to be cool and can flow and get around and be easy and chill, like, all that ain't necessary. And I'm telling you, it's a much more enjoying experience on this side when you can sort of peek in and peek out, recently I made a comment on one of the Heart of Philadelphia's pages, one of her videos. I told her, I said, I'm not one of your biggest supporters, but you've been out here reading down. And she has, I haven't been one. I may have cracked jokes about her in the chat, about her. And so, but I can find the time to say, yeah, I'm watching your videos and you keeping me laughing. When she, when she jokes on Canola, I can't breathe. And Dee Loop Loop, I can't breathe. That shit be having me rolling. She's funny. She's definitely funny. And see, she can keep that up. No one's telling her to stop. I'm not telling her to stop. Certainly, she's a beef SecTor. This is what she wants to do. So, but you as a subscriber doing that, you're causing more beef. And then you'll become like a The Miss O, where people are calling you out from the chat. Like, she literally was a chat and now she's being called out. If that's the route you want to take, then by all means do it. But if you want to, sort of go where you want, treat this like it's an app and not have to come on the app and be stressed out. I can't believe some people tell me that, they get stressed out from just coming on the YouTube app. I wish I would get stressed out over an app. Never in my wildest dreams would I imagine that. 4. Now, this is the most important one, and this is one that I always stick by. If I don't stick by anything, you can bet your butt this is what I stick by. Choose your position first, period. Choose your position first. When you go into somebody's room, hey, everybody doing this speaking thing. Hey, hi, hey. I wish it was a button where I can just go, hey, and then it just hit hey to everybody. Hey. And then the content creator is talking about something and maybe talking about another content creator in the beef SecTor and some drama. And they may say something that you disagree with. You disagree with that. That doesn't mean because they are saying it, you now have to change your opinion. No, you disagree with it. You can either jump down and say that or take my route, sit back and be quiet like, okay. And then when the topic changes, you can jump back down and say, whatever. I do that all the time. I never let any content creators sway my position. If I feel a certain way about a topic, that's how I feel, That's why I can like a Tracy and like a Rico and like a 5 and like a Spill It Boy and like a, a Brianna and a Tracy and a Pizarro and a Tracy and go check out Kwani and not be offended, because she does, hit down below when it comes to the LGBTQ community. I think one thing she said to me that really, I've had to go like, oh, really? She thinks that homosexuality is a mental disease. And I'm waiting for her to get that cert research, because that was something that they said a long time ago. I think it was in like the 60s or the 70s, and that's been disbanded by the CDC. So I'm just trying to figure out, maybe I'm wrong and maybe you're right, but that's up for discussion, because I certainly don't think I have a mental disease at all, and I'm very capable of doing a lot, and certainly whatever I think you're doing. I don't know if she's a flight attendant. I don't know what she does, but to say that people who are of the homosexuality experience, they're suffering a mental disease, I think you're wrong, because a lot of gay people are widely successful. But I don't want to go into that tangent. But see how I can do that and still be like, okay, I can go watch Kwani, because sometimes Kwani be saying some stuff that's real. So yeah, learn your position first and then approach the chat, then approach the conversation, because you want to have credibility, you want to have integrity. I will always stand by the fact that I think Kimmy needs to be on a watch list. I don't care if she makes the Pettyville list. I feel like she needs to be watched. What you talking about? Like, she's the one really behind that list, So it's like, she need to be on the watch. Y'all, we need to be watching her. And I can still go in the chat and say, hey, Kimmy. Hey, Kimmy. So I just want people to just understand, you have that power as a subscriber. That's the one power you do have. Your mind, your way of thinking. I don't agree with everything Phi Babe does. I definitely didn't agree when she brought that girl who was allegedly the friend of China Doll. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, you weren't even in the entire situation. So somebody hit you up for the situation, and then you decided, okay, I'm gonna have this interview, which the interview didn't give us anything more or less. It just made you look like you were just trying to get out here in the mix. And then I think recently you came out here and was saying how, she had her funeral and nobody said nothing about it. And I'm sitting here thinking like, well, then why didn't you say anything about it? You made you brought her friend out here to talk about the whole situation, but you didn't even, like, so if you're going to tell them that they didn't say nothing about her birthday, then they can easily say, well, you didn't say nothing. You came down here and said something too. It's sort of like the wheels will keep spinning on that. So, but see how I can disagree with her on that. And still, I go in her chat, Babe Nation hasn't killed me yet. I think they know I be everywhere else, so it is what it is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't take this shit personal. Like, if you need to play the Monica record while you're in the chat, maybe softly in the background, consider it. Consider it. With Big Man TV, sometimes when I watch him, I have to play Mozart. And I'm starting to just feel really bad for him, because I can just see the signs of, I need love. Like, I need comfort. I need support. I need someone to tell me that I can do it. I'm okay. I'm fine. And it's like, here we go again. Another situation. Same thing I said about Ken Know the News. It's like, the way you come down into the beef sector is the way you're going to be treated. And that's the way you're going to end up leaving the beef sector. And so, Big Man TV came down here jumping at Tracy, coming out the gate. I'm, having all these panels on his channel where people going at it. Now look at him. He don't want to do that. And he's doing these radio shows and talking about what he would do to women on YouTube and cropping himself in women pictures. And it's like, and he doesn't understand, want support, and y'all send me cash out. But it's like, but you didn't come in doing this. You came in doing that, and now you're abandoning that for this new stuff. You want to go a different direction because it hurts your feelings, and you don't want to do this all day. And it's like, I kind of knew that. That's why I don't jump out and be in the beef sector, because I don't want to play like that. Like, I don't think I have the attention span to go back and forth with someone on YouTube. I just don't. Like, clearly, I don't. You'd be talking shit and I'll come down 4 weeks later rebuttaling. You'll be wasting time, and call it what you want, but you know, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy it as a subscriber, but to check a bitch on YouTube, you know, I can do it. It's definitely in me. Yeah. But it's not anything that would like fulfill me. Like, I wouldn't be coming back and like, okay, bitch, I said my piece, you said your piece. What else you gonna say, bitch? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, choose your position first. And then the last thing I want to say is know when it's time to start your own channel. And when I say start your own channel, not start your own channel to be in the beef sector. Start your own channel because you're now realizing that you have opinions and you feel like you're comfortable enough sharing them. You're inspired by other content creators, as was I, to start my own channel, you know, and just share my thoughts. And now I have a little platform where I can just come out here and say things. You know, I was inspired by like watching April Walker's growth. You know, she is a beef sector content creator, but at the end of the day, she jumped out there and she has a place where she can say whatever she wants. She don't have to be chat boxing, you know, in the chat boxing. Who chat boxes? Like, I don't understand. You're literally chatting. You're boxing a white screen and keys. Like, get your own channel. And you can come and talk about anything you want to. You know, I've based mine around like celebrity news, crime stories. I'm now gonna do like, you know, run it back with beef sector and just trying to build your own stuff and feel comfortable doing it. I know I was shook at that first. Look at me sweating under my arms. I was shook at that first, but eventually you'll figure it out. Like, you'll figure out your swing. And I really want subscribers to just, you know, you ain't gotta be a yes baby in people's chat. Feel comfortable, state your opinion, state your piece. Don't be negative or nasty, you know, certainly to the content creators page, or if you're in their chat, you know, if it's a time to joke and y'all joke, you know, but when it's, you know, certainly not a time to joke, don't. You know, the other day, I do want to sincerely apologize because I hadn't realized until I went back to the replay that Jay Dunn and 7 Stars started talking about each other's on, I think it was Brianna's channel, in such a nasty manner, you know, about their parents and stuff. And I'm just in the chat, just Jay Dunn in her 12-year-old voice. And I hadn't realized that that was taking place. And had I realized that, I literally was like, I would have been like, okay, now it's time for me to exit. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to be a part of the breakdown of someone's, you know, mental psyche, you know. And again, and not a tangent, but that's how I feel about Clydiva. Like, at first, I didn't understand it. Why the fuck are you coming over here? Certainly under the wrong auspices. They done hyped your ass up. Tracy, all of them. Yes, Tracy Boo, you did hype her. You were a part of the hype crew. Y'all hyped her up to come over and battle Fi Babe. She got her ass smacked. And then she realized that once, you know, people in the beef sector realized that, well, she ain't got to work, they disbanded and she got mad and got rid of everybody. I sort of have like not changed how I see her, because I still see her as being someone who needs a bath outdoors in one of those kiddie pools with a hose. And I want a Dawn soap. I don't want no Dove dish detergent soap. I want to see it for myself. I feel, you know, I am now taking a different tone and approach to her. Like, now I go to her channel when I do go to her channel. I'm not subscribed, but I do go to her channel. I watch her. I hit the like button. I don't drop down or say nothing negative. I always, you know, try to, like, when she's saying stuff, I'd be trying to say, well, Clydiva, don't you think? Before I would be like, well, what the fuck you think? Now it's more like, well, Clydiva, you gotta understand. Well, Clydiva, now Clydiva. You know, my biggest thing with Clydiva is you're so focused on the wrong thing. Sweetheart, you should be moving. Anytime someone knocks on your door, like they came and touched your door, I can't imagine someone touching my door, and I only have a dog. I would beat the fucking brakes off. So I'm gonna be beating something. I'm gonna be figuring some shit out, moving, doing something. You don't know who it is, and you don't know what people's intentions are on YouTube. And I prayed for you that night. I really did. I prayed because I felt so bad. I'm like, damn, you know, nobody really wants anyone going through that. Not a black woman with kids. I don't care how much we hate, we don't like, we want to see them fail, or you go too far to a certain extent. And that's when I was like, her priorities are fucked up. She's back on YouTube talking about other shit. And this man, I don't know, I say this man, but somebody just knocked on your door. Like, that would have been your first concern, you know? So, like, folks like that, I've taken sort of a different tone to, because now I see that besides the mental illness, like bipolar, that she has claimed she has, there's also some deeper issues. Some, I want to say, you know, issues of maybe abandonment, maybe, I don't know, maybe separation issues, you know, and I know that she was, I don't know if she was adopted. I don't want to get too far in her business, but I think that there are those issues, and a lot of those abandonment issues is a lot of the reasons why she's so tied to YouTube. But she hasn't been on in a couple of days, and I hope she's well, you know, well wishes to her. And that's the kind of guy I am. I just got a heart. I joke, but I got a heart, you know. I always want what's best for people. Even though I joke on the brownie cloths, the paper towels that Jay Wilson is selling, if it's an income for him and he's making money and people are buying it, do your thing, make your buck, you know. I hope you're not praying over those towels, and I hope your name isn't on those towels. What kind of shit is that? Can you imagine a towel sitting up in your house that say Dr. Wilson? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. But kudos, do your thing. Not for me. That is really all I wanted to talk about in this first edition. I just really, you know, open conversation. It's how they're always going to be, very light, less than 30 minutes. Just a, you know, topic. No special effects, just me. I don't know what the next one's gonna be about. I don't know when the next one's gonna come. Yeah, and so if you have any topics you want me to talk about related to the beef sector, put them in the comments. I'll try my best to like talk about what I think I can talk about, because again, I'm not trying to be digging up into history. I want the surface stuff that I see every day. I don't want to have to be talking going back. You know what I say there's two types of subscribers. There's the type of subscriber who's been here pre-VS, and then there's the type of subscribers who's been here post-VS. And I would consider myself as a post-VS. So anything y'all talk about pre-VS, I drop out the chat. Like, you can guarantee I'm out, I'm gone, deuces. Unless it's like when y'all are giving a history, like taking us back and giving us a walkthrough, I appreciate it. If anyone else is in the chat telling you that, Roman appreciates that, because I don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. And half the time I be thinking y'all just be beefing for the sake of beefing. I didn't even know some of the shit. Like, I remember like maybe 2 months ago that I realized that Lady Nika and Spill It Boy had a beef, and he's the one who gave her the name. I didn't even know that. And then I dropped down in the chat one day and I was like, well, I'd like to know what happened. Like, shit. And then Lady Nika was like, what is it you want to know? And I said, oh, shit. I said, well, there's nothing I need to know, Lady Nika. I was just asking a question, but seeing as it though that this is pressing, I will back off. And so I backed off because I didn't want to pull the Band-Aid off the wound. So I just left it alone. But I was curious to know, like, what the fuck? I didn't know, you know? So yeah, but I gotta go. I am about to get ready to walk my dog before night hits and before I make dinner. I am making some barbecue ribs in the oven and some barbecue wings in the oven and some collard greens and some Spanish rice and that's it. And it's for me and my friend. So until next time, y'all, deuces.